We actually merged with this company last year, a company called Calm.io. And we've been working really hard for the last 1 year to figure out how do we actually bring this abstraction to all of you. And we'll talk a lot about multi-cloud in the next couple of days, and you'll realize how a multi-cloud requires this recommendation engine. Calm is not there yet, but it needs to be a recommendation engine that's doing so much of telemetry and analytics to understand when people ran this application, they also did this kind of stuff. So without further ado, I want to call on stage Aaditya Sood, the Senior Director of Engineering, to really talk about Calm and automation. Aaditya. Welcome.
Thank you, David.
And thanks again for doing this for us. I know it's looks like we already have the application in front of us, so it breaks a little bit of the secrecy here that we had. But you know, we hear from you that you're trying to bring elegance to automation. And obviously, in true Nutanix fashion, we probably just don't want to talk about it just in a deck of slides, but show people a demo so that they get a feel for what this thing is. So show us what you have, actually.
Sure.
So what's this? This is our Prism.
This is our standard Prism interface, which is showing you a management plane for your virtualization and storage.
Good. So where is Calm here? I mean, I see a bunch of tabs that actually look like familiar. So there's a tab on apps now.
Yes. So apps is the new Calm interface. And here you can see the new screen now.
And can you scroll down and show us what exactly this looks like?
Yes.
It looks like a bunch of widgets. What exactly is this?
This is our marketplace. This is the marketplace where you can go consume new applications. And as
Aha, so the lawyers have told you not to use the word App Store then?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Makes sense, makes a lot of sense. So you can actually go and do some categorization, because obviously these will grow over time, so you have a ton of apps, and you can do some searches. Maybe you can drill into one of these and show us. So it looks like in analytics we have Hadoop and...
There's a Hadoop standard application. You can see there's a ton of applications here.
So what do we do with these apps?
Well, we run them.
Oh, you just run them? Wow, it's as simple as that.
So
looks like you have some description. Go ahead, tell us more.
Yes, here we have the Hadoop application, which is, I think at this point everyone knows what Hadoop is. But here we see some amount of specifications, the licensing, and as you can interestingly see, this is available on multi-clouds with a single click. The hardware requirements, and most interestingly, we have, when you get apps from our marketplace, they come with entire life cycle built in. As you can see here, you can upgrade it, scale it out, any kind of dynamic behaviors are all fully baked in.
So you're basically up-leveling these actions, where the actions are happening on the entire app itself.
Yes.
So we're working the whole body of the app as opposed to thinking about components like compute, storage, and so on.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we just click launch.
And here we have the Hadoop application. We choose a name for it, decide which multi-cloud to go provision it on, and that's it.
So basically what you just did was, as a consumer, you said, you know, I actually see a bunch of apps in the marketplace, and I can go and just click on it without having to write thousands of lines of Puppet or Chef code to really build something. Right?
Yes, it's a single.
And while that's all that's going on, looks like we have a new application console here.
Yes.
So is this the console for the app now?
Yes, this is the new app instance that we set up, Hadoop 100. And here is all the detail about this application. So it's provisioning right now, because this is Hadoop. We have a VM summary, we have all the other details, and this is some of the stuff that you were talking about. We have now cost metrics for all of these applications. As an application, it's costing us 20 cents an hour to run on AHV, as well as $4 a day.
What are some of the other tabs here?
Yes. So this is, of course, the high-level view into this. But if you want to go behind the scenes and what all stuff the Calm engine is doing, you can go see here the create step is running. And at any point, we can look under the covers to see what exactly is going on. Here are all the steps that are
What are these
followed.
arrows? Tell us more about these arrows and this diagram that we're seeing, some sort of a flow or something?
Yes, these are the orchestration flows generated automatically by Calm, depending upon how your application is structured and how its dependencies look like, what's the architecture that you have.
Got it. So basically what comes up first, what comes up second, and so on.
Yes.
Right? And these boxes, what are these boxes here?
These boxes are our individual VMs that came up. Here's the master node, and here is an array of seed nodes. This could be containers down the road.
Got it. So what else do you have? You have audit. What does audit do actually?
So we all know that compliance and governance is a huge part of the story, enterprise cloud story. So here is an entire audit trail of everything that happened at an application level. While this pulls in data at your VMs and containers level, but this is presented to you at an application layer.
Got it. So what's happening on manage again? Are you seeing some things come up in a Nutanix cluster here? And if you have to debug a few things, what do you do to debug them?
All you need to do is click on any of the steps, and as they start generating the output, the logs, all of the logs are live streamed here, archived, stored, searchable, the entire goodness.
And what's the services tab here?
We can see here. The services tab is a grid view of all the infrastructure that we have booted up. We booted up a 3-node cluster. At any point, we can go click on any one cluster node and go see what exact details that we have.
Great. So it looks like we have avoided writing tons of code, except that one person out there who's a producer is doing a few things to really make a model out of the app itself, and all the consumers can just go and click it.
Yeah.
Great, great. So is it done? I mean, are we seeing something here that we can show is done, or do we have to go back and waste some more time?
I think while our AHV stuff runs in the background, let's go ahead and see if we can go and leverage our
great
cloud partners.
Great, yeah. So you're going to do the exact same thing now on GCP instead.
Yes.
It's no change to code at all. You've not written any line of code. You're saying, well, I'm just going to launch the same thing in Google Compute Platform.
As soon as I click this, you can see our logos all changed, and the exact same steps have started being followed in the background again.
Beautiful, beautiful. So in this case, what's happening is that the plugins that we've written are going and calling into GCP APIs and saying, let's go and figure out how to launch these virtual machines and these containers and things like that.
Yes, yes. And all of this automatically adapts.
And it's the same standard interface that you saw for on-prem AHV is what you're seeing for GCP as well.
This is exactly the same interface, the same life cycles got adapted, the same functionality you had written for one platform is available on every platform across the board.
Great, great. Cool. So tell us what else you have to show.
Yeah. Now we'd like to show you some of the producer stuff because, I think blueprints and app automation have been around for a while. But what we are also bringing to the table is how do we reduce the complexity from a producer side by 10x to 100x. And so
got it.
So I'm going to open up the same Hadoop blueprint in the graphical editor that we have. And this is how this same application architecture looks like.
Got it. So it looks like I have one box there, a few boxes here. What are they really? Is it a vector of services? Or?
Yes. This, as you see, is the shaded part here is a vector of Hadoop slaves, which at runtime can scale out or scale in based on your load and requirements.
So if you actually put some load balancing or policies on partitioning, you could actually go and add a slave on demand.
Yes, yes.
And the engine will do this for us automatically.
Engine will do this for automatically, figure out what steps to always keep running to heal your application fabric.
Great. Show us what can we do here.
Here as we saw that we have different profiles, Google Cloud Platform. Here I just click on this and let's say I wanted to add another array of slaves. All I have to do is click clone and now I have a second array. And on the right side you can see the entire details for this application.
Beautiful. So you're saying that rather than write a ton of code again, we can use this visual tool to actually go and figure out how to create these dependencies and create an app model. And this app model looks like it's going to have not just software products, but also a bunch of virtual appliances, things like load balancers, firewalls, and things like that, that can come in here, and then you can have the dependency that actually maps and tracks them.
Yes, we have a ton of partner applications, open source applications, tested and certified by us, other third-party applications, and as well as you can publish your internal applications to the marketplace within your enterprise.
Got it.
All available through one interface.
Great, great. So what else do you have to actually talk about?
Yeah. I think the third part of this entire story is, of course, the IT admin interface, and let's just quickly look at our new application management.
So we up-leveled Prism Central, because Prism Central is about a bunch of clusters. You're saying this is about a bunch of clouds.
Yes. And all your applications. You can see your number of applications. You can see your cloud costs over time, how your teams are spending budgets. We spoke about budgeting and procurement is a big challenge out here. And here I have a list of all of my applications. You can look at them. I can manage them. You can see what exactly is going on.
Great, great. So what's in store for us in the future? Tell us about this idea around going deeper with containers and Kubernetes. Tell us about your thoughts on that, actually.
Sure. So while as good as the interface looks, we spend as much time on our object model. And we think that Kubernetes and containers especially are the way of the future. What we are working on right now is how to fuse our stateful classic enterprise applications and Kubernetes together in one dynamic data model.
So you're saying there's going to be a way to hybridize Calm, which is stateful stuff and stateless stuff, and how they come together in one is probably the big challenge. And a lot of the stateful stuff is virtual machines, a lot of the stateless stuff is containers, and obviously the apps of today will be hybrid apps. And that's one of the big things that we'll have to go and do this with Kubernetes as well.
Yes, that's our future plan.
Great. So tell us, you didn't write this code in 2 days, right?
A day or so, I think.
A day, good for you. Well, thank you so much, Aaditya. I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.